During my trip to Playa del Carmen, Mexico, I ate local market street food for $11. I also ate a $220 meal at Zapote Bar, one of the world's 50 best bars. That's 11 times the price differences. I will find out which one is better as I explore the city and its food scene. Join me and experience it for yourself. Hey there, this is Fufski coming to you from Playa del Carmen, Mexico. I just left Cancun this morning. I took a bus from Cancun to Playa del Carmen. It took about 2 hours to get there, and I checked in at this hotel for a night, which is a pretty nice hotel. It's about the same price I paid back at Cancun, but it is much better here. It's like much better environment, hardware and everything. And now it's already 5:30, so there isn't much things I can do today, but there's one thing I'm gonna do. I'll be visiting a bar called Zapote Bar here in Playa del Carmen. It is one of the world's 50 best bar, and in particular, it is number 11 on the list of North America's 50 best bar. And that bar also has a food menu as well. It is more of a Middle Eastern / Mediterranean inspired menu. But I'm actually feeling like eating some Mexican food first. I haven't really eaten anything today because I'm on the road all day, and now it's 5:30. There's still an hour, and I'm thinking of maybe eating some taco on the street first a little bit, then go to the bar later. But here's the thing. The bar, because it's at the resort, so it has a dress code, it has to be resort casual, which means no sandal, no shorts, no tanks, so nothing I'm wearing right now. And dressing all formal, go to the street and eat some street taco while it's 32 degrees Celsius will be absolutely insane. So this is what I'm gonna do. Eat some taco and come back and change and go to the bar. Okay, so now I have arrived at this place called Taqueria El Fogon. It is said to be one of the best taco places in the city. Well, this is a restaurant, not only taco, but a bunch of other stuff as well. This is not in a tourist center, so I'm like kind of venturing outside the Fifth Avenue, which is the touristy area. And well, I'm just gonna grab some quick bites. Okay, so my order arrived fairly quickly. I just had 3 quick tacos. So I have sirloin, al pastor, and chorizo. Let's start with sirloin first. Oh, look at that top with meat. Oh, it's so hot. Very good flavor. Salsa as always, green and red. The red one looks really spicy, so I'm just gonna add a little bit. The red one is very, very spicy. This reminds me of the sauce I had at Corona in New York, Queens, right near where I live. And they have this taco. Same sauce, red and green. The green is good. The red is really, really spicy. Exactly the same. Okay, second one, taco al pastor. Got pineapple, the sweetness. That is the signature for taco al pastor. Flavorful, juicy, good. Okay, the third one we have chorizo. I thought it's gonna be like more chunky, but those are like minced. Oh my god, that chorizo, that's so flavorful. The flavor is really intense, like merguez type of flavor. Actually, I want another one. This is my favorite, because the juice and oil and everything, riquísimo. The taco is really good, but I think now it's time for me to go, because I have another spot to head to. Okay, now I have just got back. I'm gonna take a quick shower and change. Also, one thing real quick before I leave. Actually, this place is taking a little longer to arrive than I expected. It is still 10 kilometers, 8 kilometers, but instead of 10 minutes, it's taking 18 minutes. Plus I have to go there and get a taxi, so probably like 20 plus minutes. I'm already running a little late, but I have called the bar to post my reservation, so everything should be good. Let's go. Now I'm taking a taxi en route to the bar. Again, on the highway, going off the grid, just like last time. Now we have arrived at Mayacoba Resort. This is a huge resort. Jesus, this resort looks amazing. It's like a private jungle. I have now arrived at the resort. Wow, it looks amazing. Finally, I am here. Let's start this journey. Oh, look at that, crazy. Now I understand why this is a private resort. That's insane. I definitely want to stay here sometime. Okay, so finally I am at Zapote Bar. This is the number 11 of North America's 50 best bar. The environment is very cozy and chic and gives out this jungle vibe. Really cool, I like it, but there is no AC or anything, so it is a little hot, especially I'm wearing trousers and all, but with the sparkling water, it is not better. So this place, aside from the bar, is also a restaurant. And I think the menu looks sort of interesting as well. At first, when I look online, it's mostly like Middle Eastern inspired. I mean, I can see the item here, they still are, but they have some special item that's like a bit more Mexican flair. I might want to try those. So yes, I think I'm gonna eat a meal here. All right, so now I have a first cocktail. This is Guanabana. Tequila infused with lemongrass, sour salt puree, lime juice, chili pasilla, and some fruits from the Yucatan. A balance of sweet and sour, refreshing, fruity. A little bit aftertaste, you have a bit more sweetness coming through. Oh, I always tend to drink way too much before I even eat. Okay, so the next cocktail here we have enredo. Enredo means dill in Spanish, so this is like gonna be a herbaceous cocktail. And this one is vodka, San German, Stabuntun. Stabuntun is like a liquor local to Yucatan. This is Mayan. And I think it's like extraction from flower and cucumber juice, lime juice, fennel, and soda. Wow. It's a balance of herbaceous and sweetness, also very refreshing. This is definitely on par with those top tier bars in New York City. Yo, bro, I'm tipsy already. These things are strong. They look and taste innocent, but there is a good amount of alcohol in it. And 2 alcohols in, I'm already like a little bit in effect. And now I think I'm gonna move on to the dining room out there and have their a la carte menu. And I thought I'm just gonna have some drink, but at this point I'm like, whatever, fuck it, I'm gonna have the food. Okay, I have just finished my drink. Now I have moved to the dining room. This is mostly Middle Eastern inspired, but some of them does have this Mexican Yucatan twist. Okay, so moving on, finally we have our food. These are 2 appetizers here. This is muhammara, and this is a salad. Muhammara is a Middle Eastern dish. You can find it in Egypt, in Levant, everywhere. And this restaurant serves a menu that's primarily Middle Eastern inspired, but with some Yucatan twist. And in this case, the pumpkin seeds is from a squash native to Yucatan. So let's try this muhammara first. Muhammara is basically like a red pepper paste, right? Then here you have some squash pumpkin seeds. It's so potent, it's so peppery. And the pumpkin seeds like crispy and a little smoky. This pumpkin seeds works really well with this puree. Like the earthiness of it, the smokiness of it is really potent. It's not just like any run-of-the-mill pumpkin seeds you get from supermarket. This is really a league of its own. Okay, so moving on, we have this beautiful salad. This is actually a Yucatan dish. It looks like, just any Western salad, but it actually has a Mayan name called shik. So this is something the locals will eat. For this one in particular, what we have here is orange, herbs, chili flakes, and spices. It's a fennel salad. It's so fresh, slightly herbaceous. Now, orange is not very acidic. I thought orange will always be a bit sour, but not for this one. You just got like the fruity sweetness from it. Crispy, refreshing, slightly herbaceous flavor from the fennel. Orange, you just got more of the fruity sweetness. I feel like this is like a refreshing seasonal salad. Feels like in between spring and summer, but Yucatan is really hot though. It's definitely feeling like summer. We also have some flatbread here, a staple in Middle Eastern cuisine. But here they also have it. I guess it's gonna be like a free-for-all interpretation. I'm just gonna add whatever. So this thing's like a little pocket. I'm gonna add a little bit of salad in it and eat it that way. All right, look at this beautiful salad bread. Almost like eating a salad sandwich. Okay, so now I have another cocktail. This is actually off the menu, but it's gonna be on the menu for the next iteration. This is called Konya. I'm not quite sure this is Mayan, so I can't pronounce it quite well. And this thing we have here is called hoja santa. It's a Mexican pepper leaf, and it's kind of like a taco. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna eat this first, then I'm gonna drink the cocktail. Very interesting, haven't experienced like this before. It's sweet and earthy, and there are two types of sweet. At first you have like a more subtle sweetness, and you have like this herbaceous flavor. But later on you have like another sugar-like sweetness in there. In the cocktail, oh, balanced and also a bit smoky. Slightly smoky, earthy, citrusy complex flavor in there. Very balanced, very subtle. It's a good one. Okay, moving on. Finally, we have this main course. This is quesadilla. So quesadilla and birria. Quesadilla is this. I don't have to explain. Birria is like this beef thing that if you have birria taco, that you know it's like this taco that you dump in the consomme. This is like that birria, but made with ribeye. And we have two cups here. This is type of yogurt, and this is like a sort of a spicy salsa. Look at the size of it. So there are some tomato, avocado, cilantro. That flavor, so rich, just like a birria is. Intense, savory, good amount of salt, but not overly salty or anything. The flavor is really rich, but there's no oil or juice or anything, probably because this is a finer establishment. They don't want to make it so greasy, it's like all over the hands and all that. It's not as elegant. Well, maybe. That flavor is it's so good. Salsa picante. It's good. Not that spicy though. Not as spicy as one you have on the street. Again, probably because this is a finer establishment in the resort, and a lot of the clientele are from, like the Western world, like the gringos and all that. They might not be able to eat that spicy, so they tune it down quite a bit. This is the yogurt. The yogurt smoothed it out. This is basically like a street food birria plus quesadilla elevated in a setting like this. Pretty good, pretty good. Okay, so moving on, now we have our dessert. I was transferred to this particular room called Blue Room, where it's kind of like a speakeasy for dessert, which is kind of interesting. I have a bunch of liquors here, some books, and what I had is churro, classic Spanish dessert, also Mexican. Also, I have a cocktail here, mamey, clarifying milk punch. A sip of the cocktail, mamey, in the Blue Room. Wow, okay. That tastes exactly like mamey, like the fruit. And also, it's got like the milk punch in it. You do taste like a little bit of flavor, very subtle, more like an undertone. The mamey is fruity but not overpowering. Refreshing. Speaking of milk punch, because I had another cocktail, Crunch Eye, which is also like the clarified milk of that nature. When I drink that, it tastes like really milky. This is not like that. This is more of like a mamey, just like the fruit itself. The milk punch is just like very subtle, but I wonder what they do if they add like a stronger version, so it kind of become like a mamey-ish milk liquor. And of course, let's try the churro here. Soft and fluffy, crispy on the outside, fluffy on the inside, lots of sugar, pretty good. It's also got caramel. Let me dunk that in. Very good, sweet and good. Ice cream here. Vanilla ice cream, pretty good. All right, I think that's all for me. I am so full. I just finished my meal here. It took way longer than expected, but it has been great. Now I'm ready to leave the resort, just look at it while I'm at it. Just like beautiful here, environments and all that. It's like literally a private jungle. Yesterday, I returned to my hotel from the restaurant pretty late, so I went straight back to sleep. And now it's the second day. I just want to add a little bit of information and my thought on the meal yesterday. The food is good, the cocktail is great, but that meal also set me back good. It cost like $220 US. Yes, that is very expensive, even by New York City standards. Let's say in New York City, you were to order anything in Manhattan, an average meal will run about $100 plus per person. But here in Mexico, in this resort, this meal costs $220. The food is good. It's kind of like a Mediterranean vibe, but again, I can also have those in New York. Plenty of them were pretty good. The cocktail is good. It's a North American's 50 best bar, but again, over half of those North American's 50 best bar are in New York City, and they're not that expensive, to be honest. The cocktail there run about $30 per glass, which is more expensive in New York City. And the main course, the ribeye, costs $60, which is pretty insane. Yes, it is ribeye, but still they'll be more expensive than in Manhattan. I did have 2 cocktails in the house, which is pretty nice, but even at that value, it's still more expensive than New York City and probably considered very expensive for a lot of people. I do have to add that the resort is pretty stunning though. I haven't stayed there, but just judging by my experience and the environment that I saw, it is pretty amazing. And I feel like if you were to stay there and have the meal, it will be an overall great experience. And also I kind of understand that when it comes to the field of luxury, value for money is not really something to be considered here. Think about, if you're buying an LV or Hermes bag, are you gonna consider that's like too much money for a bag? No. But I visited Le Chic yesterday, which is also in a resort, and that meal cost me like $170, and it is a very impressive meal, completely different, nothing that I can find in New York City. So personally, I do find that one has a better value. Would you want to have an exclusive visit to the resort just to have the meal? I don't know, that's your call. But if you have the money to stay at the resort, do it, and I'm sure you're gonna like it. Like I said again, when it comes to luxury things, values are not really considered, but most people will compare value like this still. Overall, my verdict is good food, great cocktail, stunning environment, insane prices. With all that being said, my point is, I'm a pobrecito now. I gotta eat cheap today. And I'm actually leaving Playa del Carmen today to Tulum. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pack up, leave my luggage there, eat something for lunch, then head to Tulum. Now I have arrived at the local market, Mercado Playa del Carmen. There are a couple restaurant, food stall open. I think I'm just gonna eat here. Like I said, I gotta eat like a pobrecito today. Okay, so now I am seated inside the market and I just picked a random stall because there are so many of them. They're all kind of similar, but I believe they're all good. And for this particular one, the name is Los Portales del Mercado. It has different items and I can scan the code and to view the items. And I ordered some of the traditional Yucatan dishes. This thing is called panucho, which is kind of like a zapote but with beans filled inside of it. I have never tried it before. So yeah, let's try it. This is the egg. I also ordered an egg dish. And that, I believe, is the panucho. Okay, let's start eating. First, I'm gonna have this horchata drink. It is so hot here, there's no AC. As you can see, I'm sweating. As you can see, I'm real thirsty. Horchata is basically milk with cinnamon. And this one, I can see some small bits here, probably cinnamon bits. And this one has some water too, so milk, water, and cinnamon. A little sweet, a little refreshing. Okay, moving on, we have this dish, huevo monteruños, also a traditional Yucatan dish. So we basically have like 2 eggs here, running yolk, some cheese, some tomato, and some plantain with rice, and some more beans and chips. This one looks amazing. Oh, there's cheese and hands and tomato and plantain and some eggs. Oh my god, my flavor is just so rich. Oh, we have that really nice sweetness from the plantain, umami from the ham. Very savory. This combination is mad good, I can tell you. It's like a Yucatan comfort food amped up. So as you can see, there are plantains, cheese, ham, tomato, an egg, running yolk. Wow, that looks amazing. And there's even a chip at the bottom, like the tortilla chip. I don't know if I can grab this by hand, maybe not. Like, it's a pretty giant piece, but okay. Sweet, savory, crispy, umami. That is really good. I feel like if they make this thing into tacos, tostadas, it's also gonna be very good. A little bit of rice and beans and all. You can't imagine how good that is. This should be the Yucatan brunch in New York City. This is gonna blow up. Okay, moving on, we have this interesting panucho. This one is similar to a zapote, but it is filled with beans. And here I actually have three kinds. This relleno negro, this is cochinita pibil, and this is chorizo. Okay, let's start with the chorizo one. That's just the sausage. Oh, look at that color, it's beautiful. And we have a slice of tomato and avocado on top. The smokiness from the chorizo is really good. Very flavorful. Slightly salty, savory. That's good. Okay, some salsa. Tomato salsa. Moving on, the second one, we have cochinita pibil. So the suckling pig, also a very much Yucatan staple. It's like so fully loaded, you can't even hold it. It's so good. Cochinita pibil is like a suckling pig, Mayan dish. It is marinated in anato seeds and citrus, so that's why it gives a strong flavor. It's like very intense porky flavor because of the citric acid, like slightly sour, but not that much. It's mostly for enhancing the flavor of the pork itself, so the juice and all that, like the flavor is just amazing. Only thing that's a bit messy. There is a bit of refried beans at the bottom, very thin layer of it. There's always more salsa to add in. Habanero, a bit spicy. This one is the relleno negro, the most interesting one. This is also a traditional Yucatan Mayan dish. Relleno negro basically means black filling. So you have this black sauce, as you can see, right? These are made with burnt chili, so the color comes from the chili. It's like a subtle spicy flavor. I mean, not like really spicy, but the flavor is not really strong. And you have chicken shred in this one. I think I need to eat it a couple more times to figure out exactly what the flavor profile is. Alright, that is the whole meal. It is fantastic and I am full. And the final price is 185 pesos, which is $11. And the one yesterday is $220, which is exactly 11 times. Jesus. If I were to choose between these two places, I'm gonna choose this one 10 out of 10 times. Now, let's get out of here. I'm going to Tulum.